Okay. So, Herb, first, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today.
Welcome.
Why don't we start with your name and what branch of the service you were in, what time period, and where you were stationed?
Okay, my name is Herbert Hosey, United States Navy. I went in May of 1944, and I was 2 years to the day of discharge in May of 1946. Exactly two years. Yeah. I lived in Indiana, so I left Connersville, Indiana, where I joined up.
Mm-hmm.
But spent it up at Great Lakes Training Center.
Mm-hmm.
And from there I went over to Kansas to a naval base, air base, and was a security patrol there for 6 months. And then from there we moved on to California, to San Francisco, and went through training that I hadn't expected to do, and that was Marine Corps training. Why we got into that, I don't know. But later on I understood we were training to be used in the landing services, to ship to shore, holding supplies. But we were in Hawaii in 1944, Thanksgiving, and they disbanded us. But they said, we're still going on over. So we did, and we stopped in the Marshalls for 3 or 4 days, stayed aboard ship, but just rested there. From there we went over to Marianas, to Guam, and we spent probably 30 days just actually doing nothing until they hooked us up with the Seabees.
Mm-hmm.
And then we started rebuilding the island. Because the island was secured in August of 44, I arrived in December of 44. So from there, like I said, we built a naval supply depot, and then all the housing for most all the Navy up there. And really, I mean, there was Japanese that were still on the island, but we never run into any trouble. We let the Marines take care of that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I worked in the field making we had a pallet plant there to put everything on, so when the Marine Corps and the Army would move out, they have all our supplies on pallets. We had that running.
Mm-hmm.
And then later, come to find out, I was the only guy among the 300 that had ever had any typing in high school. So I wound up getting an office job. And that's where I was doing that until the end of the war came along.
That's great.
And then I stayed for a period after that. Yeah.
And when did you said you came back in 46?
Came back in 46. Yes, a ship went aboard. We were supposed to go to San Diego, which they said would be about a 14-day run. But the ship got orders to go to New York and be decommissioned. So we left the Marianas, went up to Hawaii and the island of Hawaii and Oahu, then headed south through the canal, Panama Canal, and then over through the Caribbean and up to New York City. And we were the first shipload of military men to come into New York Harbor that had served Pacific duty. Yeah.
Oh, you must have gotten quite a warm welcome.
Oh, there was a lot of people there, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it also just so happened that at that time the railroads were on strike. But they put us on a train there on the Jersey side, and they gave us a green light all the way to Chicago. All we stopped for was to change engines and cruise, took on water and coal, and kept right on going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
That's a great story.
yeah.
Any words of wisdom for the younger generation?
The only thing I can tell them that freedom is not free. Yeah. Yeah. Be thankful for what we got today.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I completely agree with that. Well, Herb, thank you so much for your service to the country, and thank you for taking the time to talk with me.
You're welcome, sir.
Okay.